The Technomancer, Part 4. You know, I've been playing this game now for how many hours? Let me see. 19 hours. And after 19 hours of this walkthrough of this game, I have really started to like it a lot. And one of the reasons why I like it, it has nothing to do with the graphics. Of course, the graphics are mediocre. Um, the animations are mediocre. You know, this game was released in 2016 with a low budget, small studio called Spider. Is Spider or Spiders? I think Spiders. And it was published by Focus Entertainment, and it was developed by Spider or Spiders developer. But what I do like about this game is the same formula that BioWare has. Like they're borrowing from the same formula that the BioWare has. And we're talking, of course, Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic from the original Xbox, which is definitely one of my favorite role-playing games of all time. If you guys don't remember Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic, and this certainly has those elements of Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic. It borrows a lot from BioWare, but in a good way. And it also has a little bit of a Mass Effect, but not 100% Mass Effect, but it's certainly a little bit of ingredients of Mass Effect, which is all familiar to anyone who has played BioWare games. So it definitely borrows a lot from BioWare, but mainly from the Knights of the Old Republic. And if you like Knights of the Old Republic, I certainly believe that you're going to enjoy this. There's no question about it. Like I would use the Technomancer as a one reference to Knights of the Old Republic, honestly. Now, of course, Knights of the Old Republic, it's a masterpiece, sure. But all the negative reviews that this game got was not something that I approve of. I mean, you could judge this game based on like a poor um, environment or poor character animation. You can say that, but honestly, what do you expect? This is a small budget studio, Spider or Spiders, right? Published by also small publisher called Focus. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? If this was like a big publisher or a big studio, right? Like a Naughty Dog, okay, then all right, fine. You know, it's a big AAA studio, big publisher, then you can criticize. But I just feel that it was totally unfair the way this game was reviewed and the way they trashed this game. Um, and when you spend time playing this game, you realized, well, wait a minute. Everything that they said about this game, it's not true, you know. And now that I've spent 19 hours playing this game, after 19 hours, I'm happy to report that I like it. It's included on the PlayStation Plus. And there's another game called Mars Log Wars, which I would also. It's a War Logs. I'm sorry, Mars War Logs, which is a prequel to this. So that's also included. It's from 2013 PlayStation 3 version called Mars War Logs. This is the sequel to Mars War Logs, and it's called the Technomancer. And you learn more about these Technomancers, who they are, their origins, what type of mutants they are, right? And what type of abilities do they have, etc., 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 and how they impact the colonization here on Mars. And on Mars Warlogs, you learn about the wars and different divide that happened between two different organizations, right? And what these wars led to, who won the war, and how this, you know, colonization was divided on Mars. So if you play the prequel called Mars War Logs, you will understand more of a backstory of the Technomancer. So I would recommend that you check this game out. You don't have to play the Mars War Logs first. You can play this. It doesn't have to be in that order, but you should play both of them to understand the story. The good news is both of these games are included. So Technomancer and Mars War Logs, both of them are included. And I think you guys should give it a try. You should play it. You should try it. What do you got to lose? It's included on PlayStation Plus. You're already paying the membership. Might as well check it out. But when you do check this game out, you have to spend time. Don't just play it for like a couple of hours and just not touch it again. You have to invest time, like I do. Invest time into these games, and then you'll find out whether or not you like it or don't like it. You know, because if you truly want to brag about yourself that you are a gamer, you have to earn that bragging rights. That means I want to see you play video games on your channel. I want to see you spend 12 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. I want to see you invest time playing these video games. And I'm just being honest, you know. No disrespect to anybody, but if you're going to come to me, or come to my channel and then brag about that you are a gamer, and I check your profile and you're not playing anything, or you play a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there, and you maybe spend most of your time playing something else, right? Like sports games. I'm sorry, dude. You're not a gamer. You can't just play sports games and call yourself a gamer. You can't just play Call of Duty and call yourself a gamer. You can't just play Elden Ring and call yourself a gamer. You have to play variety. That's what means the gamer. It's you're playing everything and anything. You're playing variety. Okay, so I think that's already established. You know, it's a common sense. So, me, feel free to go through my channel. I got 8.6 thousand videos. Feel free, go through every single one of those walkthroughs and videos, and you will establish the fact that this guy is legitimately the gamer. All right, so that's that. Anyway, so give this game a try. Don't take my word for it. Try it, play it, see for yourself. Okay, that's the only way to find out. I cannot make you like the game. I cannot force you to like the game. I can only tell you, hey, it's available. It's on the PlayStation Plus. You're already paying a membership. Why not try it? But if you're going to try it, you have to invest some time. You can't just play it for like a couple of hours and never touch it again. That's not going to work out. You have to spend at least 10, 12 hours, at least 12 hours to get to know the basic mechanics of the games, how the game fluctuates, how the upgrades work, to learn about the characters, to learn about the Technomancers, who you are as a character, what this world is. You are on Mars. What's this colony like? What happened to this colony? Etc., etc. The wars, the divide, the politics, all of the above. So you learn about all of that. But the only way you learn that, it's when you spend time and you invest time. And you have to spend 10 to 12 hours, just like I did. Okay? Same thing goes for the Assassin's Creed Shadows. You have to invest time, you know. I will do the same thing for the South to Midnight. I want to play South to Midnight maybe today. I want to invest time. Kemi told me it's a good game. I take his word. I value his opinion because he's the gamer. and we kind of share the same taste in a lot of games. But I'm going to try it, and I'm going to invest time. I'm going to spend at least 10 to 12 hours trying to get to understand the game, try to get to understand the story of the game, try to understand the mechanics of the game, and I think that's how you have to treat every game. That's the kind of treatment. It's the most genuine, fair treatment you can give to any game. All right, now that I gave you guys a TED talk for like 12 minutes, all of this is just really a good advice for anybody out there who wants to consider to become the gamer. And that's what it means to become the gamer, is playing variety, not just playing Call of Duty, or the Elden Ring, right? And that's my honest opinion. And I'll listen. I'll die on that hill if I have to with that opinion, because that's my belief. Because I've been a gamer since 1984. Yes, I have other hobbies throughout my life, but as a gamer since 1984, before some of you were even born, you were still in your daddy's nutsacks floating around before he met your mom, and then you appeared afterwards. I've been playing all of these variety of different games. I've been playing everything from Spectrum ZX Sinclair, Atari 2600, Amiga A500, with these cassettes. You put a cassette, close the tray, press play, load the game. System not ready, system error, Commodore 64, right? I've been through all of that. And I played variety. I played the Police Quest 1, Police Quest 2 by Sierra. I played SWAT games. I played the original Star Wars X-Wing games on the PC back in 1989. On the very first PC that my brother had. I had played, you name it. What haven't I played? So I know who I am. Like, I know my credibility as the gamer. I don't have to even think twice about that. So that's why I'm telling you this, because I want you guys to understand the difference between the gamer or just somebody who plays a certain type of a genre of the games. If you're only playing sports games, but then you can't really call yourself the gamer. You're a sports gamer. Or if you just play simulators, you're just a simulator gamer. Or if you just play racing games, well, you're just a racing gamer. You can't call yourself the gamer. And I'm sorry, that I have to spill the beans for you and tell you this. But if I see you just playing racing games, well, you're not the gamer. I'm sorry. Or if you're just playing sports games, you're not the gamer. You got to play variety. So anyway, let's continue. For those of you who don't know what happened, we have fled from the main city that's run by the colonization. That's because I was framed by Victor. Victor has framed me, and we fled. And Nisha has helped me to flee, and also Scott Seeker, which is like a father figure to me, helped me to flee. And there's one other person, I forgot where she's at. She's the mechanic. She also helped me flee. So now we're at this other place. We're seeking refuge. This is like the Resistance place. This is where everyone from Resistance comes in. It's kind of similar to Total Recall. Like, if you watch the Total Recall movie, Paul Verhoeven movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and great movie, by the way, Total Recall, if you've never seen it. Michael Ironside, many great actors in there. And this kind of has that same, backstory to it, You got this totalitarian regime that's running the show. very corrupt totalitarian regime, and then you have the resistance, which is for the people. People want to be free, you know, and so this is the resistance hideout. And now he's in the middle of it as a technomancer, because he was brainwashed that, you know, that this regime that he was upholding the law was supposed to be this holier than thou, the best there is, the most best regime there is. But then he find out that this regime is very corrupted. So it's a lot of corruption in there, and it's not doing anything for the people. So now he's joining this resistance to help them out. All right, so that's in a nutshell where we are on the part 4. Now, if you want to really know what happened, then you can go watch my previous live streams. You can watch my previous walkthroughs from the beginning, and everything will be explained, obviously. All right, so I'm going to talk to Nisha. I want to learn more about the Nisha before we go inside.
Hi, Nisha.
Hi, Zach. Everything all right?
I want to ask her about this place.
Could you tell me more about Noctis?
It's a wonderful city when you come from Ophir like me. You can meet people from all corporations, but especially merchants, thieves, and mercenaries. All these people were born outside a caste for the most part. They have a different vision from us of what a city should be like, and you can feel it. For them, a city is above all a place of exchange, of rest after their travels. That's where they find refuge after a hard time. That's where they make serum or lose everything. Noctis breathes way more than Ophir ever will. It is a city where all opinions have a voice. It is a far more creative and cherished city than any other corporate city. Every citizen would be ready to fight for it. Not because we order them to do it, but because it is their refuge. And without it, they wouldn't feel at home anywhere else.
What's in the nearby canyons? Does Noctis use them?
Sure. They're mostly used to navigate from the city to the rest of the world, but also serve as a defensive hardpoint. Any enemy of Noctis would be left vulnerable while going through the layout of the canyons. I've heard that some groups have hideouts there where they store treasures. That's surely a myth. On the other hand, I know that you can find colonial ruins in poor condition there.
Okay. How about you, old man?
Zachariah, you look good. Better than I. As if that was hard to accomplish.
How long have you known Amelia?
Since she was a kid. She was quite a cute child, yet so agitated. She's actually no different. She is still agitated and doesn't realize the risks she takes. Mark was more cautious. I really hope that she'll become more careful. I would be very sad if something happened to her. Sometimes I have the feeling that she thinks I'm a tiresome old man. It would be a problem. I mean, I'm not that annoying, am I?
All right. Let's go inside. I think it's time. This is the city of Noctis. Remember, we fled from the Ophir. Noctis is the refuge for all of those who want freedom from the oppression of the Ophir regime. You know, let's level up first. Let's level up. What can I level up? Let me see. Increase the attack area for all staff attacks. Let's do it. Improve the agility. Yes, sir. Here you can look at your status. You can look at your resistance, your attributes, your talents. Just like in the Knights of the Old Republic, you know, it's kind of similar. You can look at your attributes, you can look at your resistance, your talents, etc., etc. There's a lot of comparisons to Knights of the Old Republic, and in a good way. You know, I'm not saying that this is a ripoff of Knights of the Old Republic, because the Knights of the Old Republic is set in the Star Wars universe, but this is a Mars, different universe. Mars has different rules, characters, different conflicts. So, yes, they are borrowing the formula of BioWare, but let's be honest, the formula of BioWare has been borrowed from a lot of developers ever since the success of the Knights of the Old Republic. You look at Mass Effect, well, it's the same formula that's borrowed from the Knights of the Old Republic. You look at Dragon Age, it's the same formula that's borrowed from the Knights of the Old Republic. So they're borrowing the same formula, but it's set in different universe, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. So that's why I'm saying I think if you enjoyed role-playing games like Knights of the Old Republic, I think you will feel right at home here, you know. You know, people complain about the Star Wars Outlaws, and if you spend a lot of hours playing Star Wars Outlaws, I think you will realize too that Star Wars Outlaws certainly borrows from BioWare, borrows from that same formula that the Knights of the Old Republic has. But you have to give, even Star Wars Outlaws, you have to give a fair amount of time. You know, when you play it, you have to be genuine. You know, you can't just play it for like a couple of hours. You know, I hear people talk trash about Star Wars Outlaws, and they said, oh, I only played it for like a couple of hours and I couldn't get into it. Come on, you know, you got to spend more time with these games to understand the size and the scope, to understand the mechanics, right? To understand like what's inside the game, and who are these characters, and what's going on, and what is your purpose, etc., etc. And the only way you can find that out, it's by putting a proper amount of time into playing these games. Oh, look at this. Can I use one of these? Maybe I can. These are like horses. Talk to mutant. I'm not going to talk to any of these NPCs. First, I want to meet the leader of this of the city. You know. Then I'll do these side missions later. When you see these individuals, these are side missions. These are NPCs, and you do favors for them. You can do side missions. But this is something you do on your free time. Right now, I want to know what's going on here on the city, who's in charge, etc., etc. You can always do those side missions later. This is where you can craft your weapons and other things. High resistance gun. I can have this. I can upgrade this if I wanted to. But no, I really don't like using a gun in this game. I just like using my my staff. I'm waiting for level 2 damage upgrades, so I don't want to do anything here yet. I'm waiting for a level damage to upgrade. I still need more leather. I need one more leather, and then I'm good to go. It tells you exactly what you need. You see, I have metal debris. I just need one more leather. Once I get more leather, then I can go ahead and upgrade my level 2 damage upgrade for my staff. They call it staff. It's like a stick. Very powerful stick.
You wanted to see me?
Yes. I apologize once again for having to play this role in front of you, but the situation was a difficult one, and I could not risk blowing my cover.
I understand. You're one of Dandolo's spies too?
No, I work for my people, even if Dandolo was a precious ally. I was in Ophir to plan an escape, but it was not exactly what I wanted to tell you about. I would like to offer you my services.
You're also a mercenary?
No, I am not interested in serum, and a Technomancer ally, yes. It is rare for mutants to know someone with your talents. So if you need a hand or any information, you know where to find me. And maybe I will ask for your services once in a while.
All right.
Hey Shuki, how are you, man? How you doing? I can see you. I can see the chat. I'm looking at my laptop now. I'm not using my OBS. My OBS, it's just really. It works. Think with my OBS. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like it's like a communication with a server between OBS and the YouTube server. Sometimes it picks up the messages, and sometimes it doesn't. But now, I don't want to take that risk, so I'm just like keeping it safe, and I'm just like looking at my laptop, you know, because with laptop in the browser, I can see what's going on. But with the OBS, I prefer OBS because it's on a bigger screen. I have a see. Here's the thing. I have a OBS. I have a third monitor. Okay, and this third monitor, it's flipped vertically. It's one of those LG monitors you can flip it vertically, and it's flipped vertically for the chat, so I can just see the chat in big giant, you know, letters. But for some reason, my OBS it's taking a dump. It works and it doesn't work, and so this is why I'm like, if you see me looking this way, that's because my third monitor, vertical monitor, I'm not using it right now because I'm just focused to look at my laptop. So I'm just like looking at my laptop browser, so it seems to work better that way. All right, let's ask him about himself. What's his story? How did he become a mutant? And who was that lady that he gave the stone? Was that really his mother, or was there someone else? That's what I'm saying. His mother's death. Was that really his mother? Or was the whole thing staged?
What really happened with your mother? I must say I didn't understand much. That stone? The police's arrival?
My mother was helping me as much as she could to carry out my mission. She would provide me with information, sometimes hide mutants on the run before they could leave the city. She was a wonderful woman, Zach, but someone turned her in. Fiorello heard and raced to get me out with your aid. Though how I yearned to save her, to get to the slums to warn her. But I knew I could not. You, though, could. The stone was a token of recognition. She knew what it meant. If she was turned in, she had to leave as soon as possible. And if she couldn't, the drawing was made with an ink-made jellyfish venom.
But why give her that poison?
I didn't want her to die, Zach. I loved my mother. But I knew what the ASC would do to her in their jail. If they caught her, she needed a way to avoid being tortured.
You know what he looks like? He looks more like Yeah, I can see Brock Lesnar, but more like a Duke Nukem. He looks more like a Duke Nukem. Like a mutant version of Duke Nukem. If you ever played Duke Nukem, it's kind of like that. But yeah, he could be Brock Lesnar's father. Maybe this was a Brock Lesnar's father, you know. It wouldn't surprise me. Someone says, hey, this was a Brock Lesnar's father. I can certainly see that. I can certainly see that. But also Duke Nukem and a Brock Lesnar's father. Yeah. Duke Nukem and Brock Lesnar's father figure. How did he discover his mutation? That's what I want to know.
When did you discover that you were a mutant?
The first symptoms of mutation appeared when I was very young. I must say that I can't really remember very well. My mother noticed them, and she taught me how to hide the marks, even though I think that I didn't know what it meant. She was hoping to keep me close to her, but as soon as the first marks appeared on my face, they spotted me out right away. I will never forget my arrest, how violent they were toward my mother. I was just a kid. I was sent to one of the farms on the outskirts of town. That's where I learned what it meant to be a mutant.
You know who really looks like that could be Brock Lesnar's father? It's this I don't know what they call it. Like, they have these different provinces in Canada. In Ontario, I guess he's like the governor of Ontario or something. And he looks like a Brock Lesnar's father, dude. Let me tell you. Is it Ontario Governor General? Doug Ford. Yeah, this guy, dude. No, hold on. Doug Ford. Premier of Ontario. He's a premier of Ontario. Dude, he looks like Brock Lesnar's father. I'm not kidding, dude. I'm not kidding. I'll even prove it here. Here. Look at him, dude. That's Brock Lesnar's father. 100%. Like, let's look at the images. Hold on. That's Brock Lesnar's father, dude. I'm telling you right now. Doug Ford, it's Brock Lesnar's father. Has to be. Like, it has to be, dude. He certainly does. What, he's called what, premier? The premier of Ontario. That's like a governor. See, I'm not familiar with the Canadians' terms and how their legislatures and the government system works. I'm sure Kemi knows that better than me, of course. But he's, I guess, a premier means like a governor of the Ontario province. Yeah, he looks like, yeah, dude. And he talks like him, too. Dude, he talks like him. He has to be somehow related to Brock Lesnar. I don't know, dude. But anyway. Hey, look at him here, dude. 100%, bro. Brock. It's unbelievable how much he looks like him, dude. Look at him. Beautiful family, by the way. Beautiful family. Anyway. I like him, actually. I like this guy. I like this guy, Doc Ford. I like him. Alright, so how did he discover his mutations? I want to know.
When did you discover that you were a mutant?
The first symptoms of mutation appeared when I was very young. I must say that I can't really remember very well. My mother noticed them, and she taught me how to hide the marks, even though I think that I didn't know what it meant. She was hoping to keep me close to her, but as soon as the first marks appeared on my face, they spotted me out right away. I will never forget my arrest, how violent they were toward my mother. I was just a kid. I was sent to one of the farms on the outskirts of town. That's where I learned what it meant to be a mutant.
The Mutant Nation. Tell me about the Mutant Nation. How they're being treated.
What's the Mutant Nation? You created it, right?
It is a little overblown, but I was one of its founders, among many others. Of course, other mutants were living outside the city as runaway slaves, hidden here and there, stealing whatever they could find in order to survive. A small community had settled in Noctis and benefited from the hospitality of the merchants, who allowed them to move around freely. However, we did not have any way to defend ourselves or plan a future. We were all spread out. A few of us decided to get together. We found a place, a very unique one, and we soon started doing it up, bringing in equipment and erecting houses. As for me, I especially wanted to free as many brothers and sisters as possible. So I went back to Ophir, and I realized that nobody cared about mutants, especially if they didn't look very smart. I began to help dozens of them escape. And our nation soon began to grow. There are a lot of us now, and I hope that all mutants will be able to live there someday.
Alright. Tell me about the characters. Tell me how you feel about Nisha. Oh, I know how I feel about Nisha.
What do you think of Nisha?
She's an unusual woman, Zach. She was locked up, tortured when she was a child. She managed to get out of the situation, and despite what she went through, she went back to Ophir under a false identity. Believe me, you have to be strong to do that. She is the best possible spy. She helps us as much as she can by providing us with vital information on the slave transfers so that we can go free them. And I know that Dandolo respects her a lot. But watch out. She is far from being the sweet and smiling young woman you met in Ophir. She is brilliant, generous, and she can also be merciless.
Oh, we already seen that. We already established that. What does he think about Amelia?
What do you think of Amelia?
She's an interesting young and courageous woman, but abundance brainwashed her. As long as she hasn't completely cut ties with the corporation, she will remain wary of everything, of anything foreign. I think that she has some pity for us mutants. That's more generous than what humans usually give us, but we don't need pity. We are a new people, not a gang of monsters regretting who they were. Maybe she will come to realize this. She is not stupid, and when it comes down to it, she has a thirst for freedom despite all the brainwashing she went through.
Alright. Well, that's all the information I need. Thank you. He does look like a prime minister of... Not a prime minister. The premier of Ontario. He does look like Doug. No, look, really, he does. Hey, don't mess with what's his name, Doug? What's his name, Doug Ford? Don't mess with Doug Ford, man. Oh, he will turn the electricity off, dude. That's right. He kind of looks like him, doesn't he? Kind of. I'm just saying. Like mixture of Brock Lesnar and Duke Nukem. He does. No, really, if you think about it, he really does. Let me set up my team. Amelia, let me see. I definitely want Nisha. I want a bunch of females. Should I use Phobos? No, I want Amelia and Nisha. I want 2 females on my side. You know what I'm saying? I will use him later. Not right now. I will use Phobos later, but not right now. So I guess it's safe to say that, isn't it interesting? Brock Lesnar moved to Canada, and he's a Canadian now. I think he has a dual citizenship. He's American and Canadian. So he lives in Canada. His family lives in Canada, and the premier of Ontario looks like him. Doug Ford looks like Brock Lesnar. I'm telling you, man, it's just what a coincidence, right? That Brock Lesnar moved to Canada. I'm not sure which province he's in, but the fact that he's Canadian, that Brock Lesnar is a Canadian now. He lives in Canada. And there's also a premier of Ontario, which is like a governor, equal to a governor here in the United States, that looks like him. If I was going to make a movie about Brock Lesnar, Doug Ford would be his father. There's no question about it. Like, dude, I mean, look at him. Dude, that's Brock Lesnar's father. It has to be. I mean, it has to be. He even talks like him, looks like him. Like, it doesn't get any more like a, father figure. This is it. This is Brock Lesnar's father. He just happens to be also premier of Ontario, which is like a governor of Ontario province. No, go watch his videos. He even sounds like Brock, looks like Brock, sounds like Brock, dude. Like, that has to be his biological father, dude. I'm telling you, he needs to go check his birth certificate. I'm telling you, man, there's some kind of confusion going on. That, let me tell you, this is his original father right there. I think Brock Lesnar needs to like dig a little bit deeper into this. Look at his birth certificate and find out what happened. You know, do it like a DNA test to find out like if Doug Ford, it's his biological father. I don't know. It's amazing how some people really look like some other people. Isn't it interesting? Like, and they even sound like those same people. Like, it's so interesting, dude. Like, almost like some kind of cloning. Almost like some kind of cloning. You know, it's almost like maybe there's some kind of secret cloning we don't know about. Like, well, maybe this is just like the way humanity is. There's a version of me somewhere. There's a version of you somewhere. There's a version of Vin Diesel somewhere. You know, it's interesting. I just find it very interesting. Anyway, getting back to the game. Yeah, doesn't he? He even sounds like Brock. Looks like Brock. Sounds like Brock. Yo, it's Brock Lesnar's father. I'm telling you, he has to be. Somebody needs to get in touch with Brock Edward Lesnar and find out. Maybe Brock was adopted on that farm in Minnesota, but maybe his real father, it's Doug. Doug Ford. You know? Maybe, you know. Oh my God. I saw that. At first I thought Brock Lesnar got old too soon. Oh, somebody already made a tweet on the X Twitter. At first I thought Brock Lesnar got old too soon. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Here, let me let me show this to people. Hold on. Can I bring it over here? I think I can. Can I? Yeah, I can. Hold on. Let me see. There it is right here. Somebody wrote a tweet that says, "At first I thought Brock Lesnar got old too soon." That's his father, man. That is his father. Does anyone else think Doug Ford looks like the love child of Donald Trump and Brock Lesnar? Sorry, this post was deleted by the person. Yeah, man, this is Brock Lesnar's father. It has to be. Look, maybe he needs to check his DNA. Maybe Doug Ford was sleeping with this Brock Lesnar's mother when she was younger, right? And, you know, he was at the nightclub or something, and they were fooling around, and she got pregnant, and then she didn't realize it's from him. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Who knows, you know? I'm just speculating, but the resemblance is just too much, dude. The resemblance is just too much, okay? He even sounds like him, dude. He even sounds like Brock. Not only does he look like Brock Lesnar, not only does he look big like Brock Lesnar, but he also sounds like Brock Edward Lesnar. That's his full name, Brock Edward Lesnar. Yes, he was raised in Minnesota, but he always says that he felt like he belongs to Canada. Like he needs to be in the outdoors in Canada. See, that right there tells you that the gene, that the DNA comes from him. That he has this love for Canada. Why all of a sudden does Brock has this love for Canada? And he lives in Canada. His kids are Canadian. His wife is Canadian now, which also was a wrestler. And he's a Canadian as well. What are the odds? And then he moves to Canada. And then Doug Ford is the premier, which is equal to a governor. He's the premier, the governor of Ontario province. Province is like a state. What are the odds, dude? I don't know. You see, I'm not the only one. I was like, I cannot be the only one that it's like assuming this. I don't know, dude. I find the whole thing interesting. I really do. And he also sounds like Brock. When he talks, like, it's like Brock talking. Like Brock Lesnar. Like an older version of Brock Lesnar. Anyway. Alright. People are probably wondering, how did we get into this conversation? Well, this is how it all started. It all started with this guy. That kind of looks like him. It all started like this. From That's Doug Ford, dude. That's Brock Lesnar's father. This guy looks exactly like the older version of Doug Ford. Which happens to be, I think, my conspiracy theory, Brock Lesnar's father. I think that other father, that's like a adopted father. That's like he adopted him in Minnesota. Because wait, no. If you look at Brock Lesnar's father, he looks nothing, dude. Like, how is it even possible? Like skinny old man. How are these genes possible? That the gene that came from the skinny old man that looks nothing like Brock, it's his father? No. I don't think that's probably a stepfather stepfather. I think his father in Minnesota, it's a stepfather. I think Doug Ford in Canada, it's his real father. That's my conspiracy. I'll just leave it at that. I think Doug Ford, the premier, which is the governor of Ontario, is original biological Brock Lesnar's father. He's just, they never did any testings. Maybe they should do some testings. Maybe they should like check the blood, check the DNA, and I think we'll find out that that's his real father. Right? Exactly. It looks nothing like him, dude. Here's another. No, I'm serious. This is turning into a Joe Rogan podcast. Hold on. Oh my god. Here, he looks nothing like him, dude. Look. Looks nothing like him, dude. His so-called biological father looks nothing like him. Who looks more like him? Doug Ford. I'm telling you. Like, how is it even possible? I don't know, man. This is just my conspiracy. You know, I think I started this whole Brock Lesnar conspiracy theory. Brock Lesnar and Doug Ford. I'm surprised that Joe Rogan is not talking about this. No, really. I'm surprised no one has mentioned this to Joe Rogan. Someone should at least bring this up to Joe Rogan. Like, hey, you know, did you look at the governor of Ontario, which is like a premier? They call it premier of Ontario province. Have you looked at the premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, Mr. Ford, and how he looks exactly like Brock Lesnar, talks like Brock Lesnar, looks like Brock Lesnar. Dude, and then you look at his original father of Brock Lesnar, it looks nothing. Talks like nothing like him, looks nothing like him, wears no glasses like him. How is this possible, dude? I think that's a stepdad. I think what we're looking, that's a stepdad. That is a stepdad. I think his mom, she was screwing around. She was in Canada traveling, and then, the younger version of Doug Ford, maybe they met in the nightclub and, she got pregnant. She moved down to farm in Minnesota, and she met this guy, and it was like he couldn't find any pussy. He was looking for pussy, so he's like, okay, I'll help you out. I'll raise your child. You pregnant? Okay, I'll help you out. I have a farm. You stay with me, and I'll raise your child. Honestly, I think that's what's going on. I think that's a stepdad. That's a stepdad. Stepdad. I don't think that's his real dad. That's his stepdad. I think his real dad is Doug Ford. I'm telling you right now. That's my conspiracy right now on the Brock Edward Lesnar. And then why is he moving to Canada? You see, he already has that love. See, the genes, the DNA doesn't lie. The DNA of your father wants you to go to your fatherland. And what's the fatherland? It's Canada for him, because his father is Canadian, born and bred in Canada. So he feels obligated. He has this calling that he needs to go to Canada. Like, he feels obligated. I need to go back to my fatherland. And it's the outdoors. He loves outdoors. And what is the one thing that the Canada has? Plenty of outdoors. Plenty of forests and national parks. Are you kidding me? So, I think we have established Doug Ford, it's the Brock Lesnar's father. Okay, that's my conspiracy. Now, Joe Rogan, it's up to you to spread this news. Somebody needs to spread this news to Joe Rogan. Someone really needs to tell Joe Rogan, hey Joe, did you realize? And maybe now's the time for Joe Rogan to call. Seriously, Joe, when you gonna bring Brock Lesnar to the podcast? For real? Really? Don't you think it's time that Joe Rogan brings Brock Lesnar to podcast? I mean, come on, dude. It's time, dude. It's time for you to bring him to podcast. And if he destroys your podcast and breaks your monitors and your microphones, dude, you have money, Joe Rogan. Don't worry about it, man. You're a billionaire. You can build a new studio. But at least you will have the Beast in Carnage. You'll have the podcast with about 10 million, 20 million views. Okay, so bring Brock Lesnar on a podcast. I think it's time. And I think people who are watching this, they certainly agree with me. It's time to bring Brock Lesnar to a podcast. Anyway, moving on to a video game. We're turning this live stream into Doug Ford and Brock Lesnar. It all started with this guy, with this mutant Phobo. It all started with this guy. Sometimes I feel like a mutant because I'm a big guy. I'm tall, And look how big my head is, and look how big my hands are, and just look at this chair. I make this chair look like I swallowed it, and it's a big chair. Cameras. You gotta see me. If you see me in person, I'm gonna make you look like a leprechauns, like leprechauns. Like, come here. Good leprechaun. We have mountain genes, the mountain gene. If you're a hillbilly and you were raised and bred in the mountains, like let's say Western Virginia mountains. I've seen some hillbillies from Western Virginia, right? And they're pretty big, you know. But that's because they were born and bred, you know, in the mountains of Western Virginia, you know. No, look, I have no chair. Look, no chair. Chair swallowed. Where's the chair? Where is it? Look at these arms, man. Look. The camera can't even depict how long these arms are. They're so big. Anyway. And trust me, this forehead, dude, it's like a hammer. This is a hammer. This thing right here has a lot of scratches, has a lot of, you know, it's been through a lot. This forehead has been through a lot. But this is like a hammer. It's a hammer. Anyway, let's go. Maybe I'm a mutant. I think I'm a mutant as well. A mutant, you know. All right. Let's continue.
Can't go through here.
Let's talk to some more people here. Let's learn more about talk to the preacher? No. We're not talking to any NPCs right now. Let me see. What is my objectives? Hold on. Obtain information from the merchants. A safe haven. Flee Ophir. Meet up with the merchant prince. Merchant prince? Merchant prince. Okay. Wait, a merchant prince? Is this the prince? Is this the resurrected prince? Purple rain, purple rain, purple rain in Mars. Purple rain. Rest in peace, Prince. I think Prince just went to another dimension. I don't think he's like. I think he's gone from here because he got tired of. He accomplished everything there is to accomplish. He's like, oh man, I had enough being here. You know, I accomplished everything. So I think he moved somewhere else, to a different dimension. He's like, oh, I conquered everything. I'm the best singer of all time, best record labels, everything. You know, time for me to move on somewhere else. So anyway, let's meet with this merchant prince. This game.
Yes, you. Do you have a moment?
This game, it's very underrated. I'm telling you. Ooh, let me talk to Amelia. Hold on. I'm serious, dude. This game, it's very underrated. those of you who never played this game, it's on PlayStation Plus. It's called the Technomancer.
Yes, yes, you. Do you have a
Check it out.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia. I'm fine, thanks.
Let's see what she thinks. I want to talk to her about the private matters. Tell me about your childhood, all right? I want to get to know you a little bit better. I want to know more about you.
Tell me more about you growing up.
What's there to say? I was a ward of the state in abundances centers. It was lonely and, you know, the other kids were assholes, but I gotta tell you, those times my dad returned from his missions, and I got to see him, best times of my life.
Wait, what? I thought the reason you'd been placed in a center was that your dad disappeared.
Who the hell told you that? No, I was real young when they took me away. My parents were always off on missions, and someone had to take care of me, you know? I don't even remember living with them. Honestly, I don't want to talk about it.
Sure, sorry. Yeah, of course.
What about your taste? Ooh, your romantic relationships. Huh. Let's dig into your romantic relationships.
Are you seeing anyone at the moment?
What, you mean a boyfriend? No, not right now. You applying for the position?
Yes, I am.
I mean,
Yes, I am.
Look at your face. You can't even come up with something to say. Listen, you don't look half bad, soldier. Won't take too much for me to cuddle up with you at night.
Woo! Woo! Oh, this is happening for sure. This is happening for sure.
besides your rovers, what else makes you happy here, Amelia?
Nature. Not the bugs or animals and stuff, but the landscapes, you know? Sunsets, mountains scraping the sky, red water trickling down the hills in the spring, gray lichen floating in the morning breeze. Back in Ophir, I used to take the rover out before sunrise just to take it all in. Always managed to put things in perspective, you know? How small we all are.
Amelia the poet philosopher. Who'd have thought it?
Why you gotta be a smartass?
Aha, I'm not. I was being... just never saw that side of you. The passion makes me want to take a rover out before dawn tomorrow.
Ooh.
I've always wanted to share it with someone.
Ooh. Oh, it's happening. Listen. This is a done deal. This deal is done. This deal is already accomplished. This is a done deal. Oh, they're definitely going out on a date. There's no question about it. Come on. Let me see what she thinks about the companions. What she thinks about Phobos. Brock Lesnar's father, Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario. Ontario. I want to ask her what she thinks about Phobos, the Premier of Ontario.
What do you think of Phobos?
I don't really know what to think of him. He must have had a horrible life. He's a mutant, and we all know how they are treated. And you know, that liberation story, that mutant nation thing and all, freaks me out a little. He's very smart, however. I sometimes even have the feeling that he can guess what we're thinking.
What are you talking about? He had a great life. Did you see his family? Beautiful family. He is the governor of Ontario, and he controls the electricity to New York State, and Michigan, and other places, and Illinois. What are you talking about? He could turn off the power, close the power, turn off the power. And he has a Brock Lesnar as a son. The Beast in Carnage, WWE. What is she talking about? What she thinks about Nisha, she might be jealous. Because see, that's the thing that happens with ladies. No, he's mine. He's not yours. It's like the cat fight. Meow. Meow. Arr, arr.
What do you think of Nisha?
She's stuck up. She was pretending to be a princess in Ophir. Here, she's the boss. Like, I've got a lot of experience, and you don't know anything. Pisses me off. She seems to forget that she wouldn't have gotten out of Ophir or gone on trips without me.
You see? How's she feel about the Andrew?
What do you think of Andrew?
Besides the fact that he still has to fucking square it with abundance, he isn't too bad. Street smart, and his being a smuggler gives him an edge. But he isn't into me, and I'm not into pining over a guy who doesn't bother to look at me anyway.
Well, you don't have to worry about that, because I can look at you every day. What about Scott, the old man?
What do you think of Scott? You know him well.
Know him well? That's an exaggeration. He doesn't actually say much about himself. Most of the time, he's on his own planet. Before he gets back down to Mars, well, we lose radio communication. He's nice. He regularly checks in to see how I am. He used to bring me gifts when I was young, but he can't help commenting on the chances I take and all. Pisses me off. I like him, but he's not my father, I mean.
How do you know that he's not your father? You don't know who he slept with. I'm just saying. Just like we don't know whom Doug Ford slept with back in his past before he became the governor of Ontario. You don't know who your father is, and all kind of mischiefs they did. You know, they used to screw around a lot, man. All these parties, right? Shit, man. Especially during the hippies era in the 60s and 70s. Oh my God, the amount of screwing around. Are you kidding me? Hey,
you. Yes, you. Do you have a moment?
do I have a moment? Okay, sure. What do you want? Who's this guy? Zoologist?
Hey there.
Hello, I'm Brett, and you are?
Zachariah.
A pleasure then, Zachariah. Are you a hunting enthusiast, a trapper, specialist in local species? Maybe a strong fellow like you might be a mixture of them all.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm none of those things.
Ah, well, my hope got the best of me. I've been looking for someone to aid in my studies. A shame. Sure you're not a hunter, or even someone who'd want to try his hand at it.
Okay, I can try it. I'll give it a try, you know. I mean, Brock Lesnar likes to hunt. Maybe I'm Brock Lesnar's brother. Who knows, dude? A skinny version of Brock Lesnar's brother, you know.
Can you tell me what's going on?
Yes, of course, of course. You see, the focus of my study is the planet's fauna. All the insects and animals brought by the settlers that have since mutated, much like our own mutants, if not in a more spectacular way. Now, I've studied the most well-known of the creatures, of course, but I have heard of much more rare specimens, which I would go to any lengths to study. It would offer great insight into the animal mutations. Anyone can admire their beauty, but what we need is to understand how they came to be what they are. We need to study their anatomy, but they are, of course, rather dangerous.
So you need a hunter to find them and bring back your specimens. You might be able to help. What are you after?
Well, there is so much. There's a black mole and a shield toad. Also a locust I've named Locusta tempestatus, or more colorfully, the storm locust. It's been spotted in the tunnels beneath Ophir.
Okay, I guess So what kind of creatures do you want me to hunt? The storm locust? What is that?
What can you tell me about the storm locust?
Locusta tempestatus. Well, very little but what has been told to me, actually. It is a creature, by all word, that seems to feed on electrical sources. Looks like an ordinary locust, which we know also shares the taste for electricity, but it's much larger. Perhaps its purportedly massive thirst for electricity is simply in proportion to its size? I don't know, but I'm hungry to find out.
Oh, he's hungry to find out. Well, why don't you then? Why don't you hunt if you're so hungry to find out?
What do you know about the black mole, besides the fact that it's black?
Well, its name is somewhat of a misnomer. It isn't really black. Darker than the others for sure, but not black. Its skin, though, seems to sweat venom. Wonderful, isn't it? Imagine. What a wonderful defense.
Yeah, wonderful. Always dreamed of catching poisonous moles.
Isn't it fascinating? A beautiful scientific mystery.
What about the shield toad? What is that?
Already expecting the worst, but why is it called the shield toad?
Those who have had the rare opportunity to see this beautiful creature, its skin is nearly armor-like. In fact, nothing seems to be able to pierce it. No arrows, not even conventional weapons. The hunters take their best shot, but always run away terrified. Delicate little things humans are, but there has to be an explanation for this extraordinary mutation, and I must find it.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do. Not making any promises, but we'll see. We have to talk to this prince merchant. Hey, what's going on over here?
Ah, and here comes the rare pearl, the diamond in the rough that my Nisha...
Dandolo, Dandolo.
Come, young man.
Zachariah Mancer. Was a lieutenant in Abundance.
Then welcome to Noctus Labyrinthus, Zachariah Mancer, former lieutenant of Abundance. I am Dandolo, head of this fair city.
Legendary city of the merchants. Apparently less legend than I thought. Or been told.
But hopefully as glorious as legends proclaim. Regardless, for all who come seeking asylum, it opens its arms to you and your companions. You are free to call it home. Like all who have come before you, you will honor our only request, that you make yourselves useful to our city. I'm sure your skills will place you in high demand. Noctis's first Technomancer. Exciting. You'll have all the help you need with Nisha and Lucky, who I believe you've met. We'll give you a room to get some rest. I hear your trip was quite eventful. There is something else. I would like to personally discuss my expectations of you. You hear? War between Abundance and Aurora's winding down. Aurora took Green Hope.
Just left Ophir a few hours ago and didn't hear anything about that.
That really surprise you? Your little censorship office probably hasn't decided what to do with the information yet. No. Don't look at me like that. You don't belong to Abundance anymore. The truce doesn't behoove us. During peace, the corporations become more suspicious of us and our business suffers. Our city could even be discovered, which would be catastrophic. In legend, it must remain.
What do you...
No, let me speak. Your welcome here comes at a price. I want you to attack an Aurora convoy. It's right up your alley.
And why would I do that?
I didn't finish. You will do it in Abundance uniforms, dissolving the truce. Do what you want with the soldiers, but let the civilians live. They need to be witnesses that will report back to Aurora.
So you keep the war going.
Precisely. And while you're at it, bring back the uniforms of the Aurora Technomancers you dispatch. I'm sure I'll find a use for them down the road. Ah, another thing, much more trivial this time, I assure you. The rover you came in on,
I'd like you to move it. Put it wherever you want. Do whatever you want with it. Just make sure it's not in the way in the canyon. I just don't want Ophir to stumble over the machine and, as a result, find the road that leads here.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Oh yes, one last thing. My spies gave me a little tidbit that might interest you. Right after your escape, the ASC arrested your Technomancer brothers. That's what you call them, right? From Ophir. Their fate's uncertain, but if I was you, I'd be worried for them. If you're worried enough to want to help them, maybe we can set up some sand sails to get you back.
And your help comes at what cost? Assuming it's not out of the kindness of your heart.
Don't be so bitter, Zachariah. Business is business, not personal. I just thought a few Technomancers on our side might be useful.
Oh man, it's always the same shit. Everybody wants to use everybody. You know, he's got his own agenda. They have their own agenda, and you're stuck in the middle of these agendas, and it's like a cult war. You know, there's all these different cults, and you just have to like pick and choose your poison. They're all poison. None of it is good for you. You have to choose which poison do you want to poison yourself with. But obviously, I can't go back to Ophir. I have to stay here, and I got to do these missions for this guy. Because if I don't do these missions, he will kick me out, and then I'll be stuck out in the middle of a Mars desert. And how am I going to survive in the middle of the Mars desert? And obviously, I can't go back to the Ophir. So pretty much, I'm without any choices here. I have no choice. Like, I just got to play these cards that I have. I have to play them, and play these cards and see where it takes me. You know. But it's a shitty situation for Zachariah either way, because he's stuck between these two fringe groups, right? You have the Aurora ASC, which controls the Ophir, and then you have these guys, which are the Resistance, and then you ask yourself, well, they don't want me there because they think I'm a traitor, and well, they want me here, but at what cost? I have to do biddings for them. So I'm not like just sitting here enjoying myself scot-free. I have to do their biddings. So it's like not much of a choice. Zechariah has not much choice here. Like I said, he has to choose between these different cults of a poison. They're all poisonous. They're all bad for you. You just got to go with the one that's a little bit less poisonous. But still poisonous. But a little bit less poisonous. If you catch my innuendo. Great game. Honestly, if you are a fan of Knights of the Old Republic, you will love this as well. Because even in the Knights of the Old Republics, there's many different, fringe organizations, and they're all poisonous. They're all bad. You can't trust neither one of them. You just kind of have to survive and work your way through it. And the same thing here. I mean, even in the Star Wars Outlaws, that girl with that little pet, she has to survive. She has to do what she has to do to survive. She has to make deals with these poisonous groups, these cultists, different poisonous groups, to survive. You have to make a deal with the devil just to survive. It doesn't mean that you agree with what they're doing. Doesn't mean that you support what they're doing. Just you need to do what you got to do what you got to do to survive. So I like that. And there's certainly similarities here with Technomancer and Knights of the Old Republic and Star Wars Outlaws and Mass Effect, right? And Dragon Age. There's certainly similarities here. You could say Final Fantasy. Yeah, a little bit of Final Fantasy, sure. a little bit, because it definitely has that adventure role playing. It's a role playing game that has that adventure with a lot of interesting characters. You know, it's set on Mars. Think of this like if Final Fantasy was set on in Mars, right? Or on Mars, not in Mars, on Mars. So it's kind of like that. Think of this like a Final Fantasy mixed with Knights of the Old Republic set on Mars. And I really hope and wish that people will give this game a try. Like I said, if you want to call yourself the gamer, you have to play a variety of games, and you have to spend time playing these games. You know, I hear a lot of people say to me, "Oh, I'm a gamer," and then I look to see what they're playing, and they're only playing one type of games, right? They're playing only Call of Duty, only Battlefield. They're playing only, you know, PUBG or Fortnite. They're playing only sports games. They're playing only racing games. You know, you have to play variety and finish those games to call yourself the gamer. You know, and people don't like when I say this, but that's the fact. You know, you can brag about yourself and call yourself that you are the gamer when I check your profile and like, what are you playing, right? And I can see what you're playing. I can see how many hours you put into which game. So I'm sorry. You can't call yourself the gamer. I can call myself the gamer because I know who I am. I mean, I have evidence. I have credibility. I've been gaming since some of you guys were born, while you were still in your daddy's nutsack, floating around as a sperm. Since 1984. You know, and plus I have 8.6 thousand videos to prove that, to back that up. So I can claim and say that I'm the gamer. Yes, I have other preferences, I have other hobbies, but I can easily call myself the gamer, easily. While when I look at some other people, sorry, you're not the gamer.
How'd you find out about my brother so quickly?
Well, besides the fact that your accident and eventful arrival slowed you down, my messenger's sandsails make up in speed what they lack in protection. And of course, the arrests of Abundance's most powerful strike forces were worthy of dispatching agents to keep an eye on the situation. You haven't even given a thought to how this disrupts the current balance of forces, have you?
You know why they were arrested?
The official statement is that they were suspected of treason. Victor's pretext, I'm sure. He's a man who hates anything not under his control. Was probably planning this for quite a while. He didn't get what he wanted going at it indirectly, so he just took it head on. Whatever hope you have for their lives, I'd start to come to terms. They're probably being tortured for their secrets as we speak. And as soon as they give them up, they'll be executed. If you care about them...
Well, I certainly do. But it's not going to be easy for me to go back to Ophir, considering I'm their most wanted, you know, fugitive.
I don't know how I can move the rover. Pretty damaged.
I'm sure you can find a way to move it up here. Not sure sand sails can help, but maybe you can couple it to some ostriches. Maybe your explorer friend didn't tell you, but some corporations would start a war to own such a machine. I'd repair it if I were you. Hell, sell it if you don't think you'll ever need it. I'll be honest, though. Rovers offer freedom no other transportation does. Word is, they can even reach the North and South Poles. Just something to think about.
Oh, I didn't know that. How does he feel about the ASC? ASC.
What are your thoughts on the ASC?
The cornerstone of Victor's dubious ascent to power. You want to deal with abundance, you need to go through the ASC.
You think Victor's out to control abundance?
Out to? No, he already does. Didn't your Technomancer friend's arrest prove that? A dowser to boot. Dowsers, the assembly, whoever, all pawns to be sacrificed, or puppets to be manipulated in his games of blackmail, played with the secrets he's collected on everyone. He's brilliant, merciless, a master manipulator who's turned nearly every citizen into one of his agents, all without raising suspicion. Most in abundance work for ASC ambitions, while those who don't will soon disappear.
What about the abundance? How do you feel about the abundance?
What can you tell me about abundance?
More than others, probably, because I see it all from the outside. And what I see isn't tainted by any loyalty to a mother country. Every last bit of it is harsh, from its structure to its hierarchy. And trust me, it's gonna topple one day. The administration's unending power leads to unending corruption, which keeps the Vori fed and keeps the control where it is. The plan is to stifle any bright young things in the corporation that might hope for promotion. Zachariah, we have two possible outcomes. One, Victor seizes power, abundance survives, and crushes its own citizens beneath its boots. Or two, abundance finds a way to evolve and liberate itself from its current ways of thinking. The type of regime there now, though, can only survive with an equally powerful leader. Something Victor understands.
Okay, well, how do you feel about the mutants then? How do you feel about the Brock Lesnar's father?
I see your mutants walk around free here. You're welcome to.
And why wouldn't they be? They're the future of our planet, Zachariah. Though I'm sure that makes little sense to someone who grew up in a corporation that treats them like they are a lesser people. They work hard. They're excellent guides and artisans, perfect spies, and for me, key commercial partners for Noctis. It may be a surprise to you to learn that they hope to form a mutant nation someday, and I believe they have that right. So I've been supporting them with whatever meager means at my disposal.
And they should have their own nation. Everyone, every... You know, every walks of life should have their own nation. Even cockroaches should have their own nation. Even ants should have their own nations. Everyone should have their own nations. You know, and they need to be respected. Their sovereignty needs to be respected. You know? That's the way I look at it. You know. That's how you keep Mars at peace. That's right. That's how you keep Mars at peace. And Mars will grow bigger and bigger, and then we'll be able to terraform it, have clean air, have a clean atmosphere with oxygen O2, create some artificial water, bring a lot of ice, you know. Maybe we can get the clouds to form up and rain. You know what I mean? Change of seasons, things like that. And we can turn Mars into this second home, Earth. You know? It's about 8 months travel, but you know. You go to sleep for 8 months and you wake up and there you are. What he thinks about the Antoine Rogue.
What's the word on Anton Rogue?
A bastard like no other. My worst enemy and biggest threat. I've done my damnedest to make sure my existence, like this city, is little more than a vague rumor. Anton Rogue, though, knows damn well that me and this city are real. Just doesn't know where to find us. At least I hope not. His big business competition hopes to push the power of his organization into every corporation. And what better way for him to do it than through us? I do what I can to prevent him from reaching us, but he's not a man who quits till he gets what he wants.
Then why even try to stop him? It's just business, right?
True enough. But his methods aren't good for my business, or yours. He's a product of the abundance regime, and because of that, he only knows terror and violence as his tools. I prefer, well, more tactical methods.
Tactical methods. I like this guy. This guy is smart. You know, he's very tactical, manipulative, and smart. Like, he's always ahead of the curve. And he knows how to play his cards. He must be a good poker player. He definitely has that poker face. Yeah. It's all a game, guys. It's just, you got to know how to play it. It's all one big game. You just got to know how to play it, man. We're all players. Everyone's a player. We're all players, dude. You just got to know how to play the game. Some people are good at playing games. Some people are not. Some people are sheeps. Meh. Some people are simps. A lot of people are easy to manipulate. But there's those high rollers, and they know how to play the game, dude. They know how to play the game. I'm telling you, man. All right, let's see. I want him to tell me more about the mission. Hold on.
You want to attack a convoy to reignite a war? You know how many people die in those wars? How many are mutilated, taken prisoner?
Not precisely, but I think I have a clear idea of the numbers, yeah. Every battle has its purpose, Zachariah Mancer. Abundance has fought Aurora for years for more power, out of idealism that their philosophies are more righteous than Aurora's. We don't just fight the corporations because of their damned ideals. What we do for our survival, for the survival of the misfits of Mars, the rejected, the poor, the outcasts of corporations. We fight for those who find a home with us, those I promised to protect. This mission worries you, and I get that. I do. Which is why I'm not asking you to attack your old brothers in arms, but rather just carry out the same attacks you did countless times before, under different command.
This is what I was talking about, the poison. Same shit, just different poison. Same poison, just a different label, right? Same poison, just a different label. Okay, so he says he cares about the poor, he cares about the, middle class, he cares about, those who don't have a voice, he cares about, the mutants and this and that. But once he becomes powerful, then he becomes corrupt. Remember Machiavelli? One of the greatest quotes from Machiavelli. The absolute power absolutely corrupts. Anyone will get corrupted by the power. It's in our DNA, man. Maybe at first you're a nice guy, right? And you started helping people and everything, and then you got bitten by the power, right? You got bitten by that Machiavellian quote, the bitten by the power. And once you get bitten by that power, you know what it is? It activates that other side of you, where you're like, ooh, I got the ultimate power. I can do whatever. I mean, if you look at history, you go throughout the history, throughout the centuries, it's the same thing. Whether it be the emperors, the kings, the czars, whatever, it's always that power. And you even see it today. Even today, in 2025, it's that serum of power, the ultimate power, corrupts absolutely. So everyone will get corrupted. So it's all the same shit, just a different label. The only thing you can do, and the only thing Zechariah Manser can do here, is just survive. Look after yourself. Survival of the fittest. You're not going to change the world. Okay, you're not going to change anything. All you can do is look after yourself. Survive. Okay? That's the lesson here. And that's what you should be doing. You ain't gonna change the world. You're not gonna make a peace world. You're not gonna do shit. You're not gonna make any difference in this 8.4 billions of people living on this planet. You ain't gonna do jack shit of a difference. However, what you need to do is look after yourself and help those who are close to you, who are your family, your friends. I'm not saying walk around be an asshole. I'm not saying walk around and be a cunt. I'm simply saying is, if you think that you're going to make some sort of a difference, by starting some kind of movement, and this, haven't anybody learned anything from history? Like, it took me 46 years to realize that. But I read a lot of books, a lot of historical books. I study history. And it's all like, you got to learn. Like, dude, there's always going to be conflicts. There's always going to be the divide. There's always going to be some sort of prejudice. There's always going to be wars. There's always going to be violence, crime. You're never going to have this holding hands, singing Kumbaya Mecca. It'll never happen. If you look at throughout the history has proven that this will never happen. It cannot ever happen. It's impossible to happen because of our DNA as who we are as humans. So, and I'm using this philosophy with this game because that's essentially what you're learning is, hey, I gotta do this mission for this guy. I have to play my cards with this guy just so I can survive. Just so I can keep my ass alive and survive. So I have to make a deal with this asshole, even though I don't agree with what he's asking me to do. I don't agree with what I have to do. But I need to do what I gotta do to survive. And I think that's essentially the message here philosophically that applies to real life as well. You ain't making no difference. Okay? Your voice doesn't matter. It's just a noise, an echo that's forgotten right away. It's not going to make any difference. People forget easily. People move on. They evolve. They forget. Super quick, super fast. Okay? Once you understand how human DNA works in the past 3,000 years, then you will understand that you need to care more about yourself instead of what's going on around the world. Look after yourself. Take care of yourself. Help your family. Help those who are close to you, who are your friends. And just continue on living your life, man. Because life is short. Whatever time you have on this planet, it's luck. You could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Just like that. So think about that. Hey, oh, look at this guy. He's definitely he's like a Kid Rock, dude. He's got strippers dancing for him and shit. Yeah, this guy's like a Kid Rock. Now, who's this? Excuse me. So what missions should I do? Complete the missions Dandolo assign you. Equip your team with the Abundance Officer's uniform. Alright, let's do that. Okay.
Rick, this shit wants to restart the war with Aurora? Like enough damn lives haven't been lost already? And you wanna just obey him.
What choice do we have, Amelia? Look around. We're in the desert. Ophir's
Exactly.
after me, and that rover's dead.
I know it sounds bad, but what do you think Abundance or Aurora would do if they found our little outcast city? Dandolo may be cool, but in the end, he only wants what's good for Noctis.
Hello, Amelia.
Hey. You know I'm mad at you, right? You realize what you did to me? You stole my rover, took me to that strange city, and left her in the middle of nowhere. I know that you were nice to me, but still.
Dandolo wants me to bring your rover back here.
Now he's just showing off. At least he knows how much a machine like that one is worth. Unlike you do realize that my rover dates back to the settlers? I cared for her like a mother, maybe even more. Bring her back to me. She's got sentimental value and she's all I have left. In the meantime, I'll go find the tools to repair her. And I'd also like to talk to you in private, if you don't mind, regarding what you discovered in Ophir.
Okay. We'll talk in private when you're ready, you know. No rush. Okay, you know. Alright. First, we need to get those uniforms, the Abundance uniforms. Let's go do that first.
The most exotic goods on the planet. All here, in one stall.
I need some uniforms. Like the Abundance uniforms. Do you have any? I need 1, 2, 3. I need 3. Okay. All right, let me get some. Let me get some more abundance uniforms I need for what's her name? Yeah. For Nisha, that's right. Full abundance uniform, there we go. Done. I think we're good, yeah. We're ready to do this mission. Okay, I think we're ready.
The most exotic goods on the planet, all here in one stall.
I think we're all good. Hold on. Equip your team with the abundance officer uniform. I did. I did. I don't get it. I already did. Do I need to get the pants?
The most exotic goods on the planet, all here in one stall.
I just need information.
The only information I have is about my goods.
I already got this. Do we need like abundance? Abundance officer's uniform? We did. I don't get it. Like, I thought I already have it. I don't get it. I thought we changed in uniforms, like. Yeah, we all have the same uniforms. Yeah, the abundance uniforms. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is. I'm carrying too much to sprint. You know what? Before we do this mission, I think I need to sell some of my stuff. I think I'm carrying too much stuff. I can sell some stuff, can I? I need to be prepared for this mission. Hold on. I need to sell some of the stuff that I have and then prepare and buy all the medical supplies and be prepared. You know what I mean? We have to be prepared. We can't just go in there without being prepared. We have to be ready and prepared. Ready and prepared. Let me talk to the merchant. I'm sure there's more merchants around here. Can I sell? Let me see.
The most exotic goods on the planet.
Nice. All right, she doesn't have any medical supplies. I need some medical supplies. Hold on. I'm sure there's another merchant that we can talk to. Is this the merchant? Hold on. Oh, there's a merchant over here.
You, sir, just came at a fortunate time. I just stocked new merchandise.
This is what I want. Health injection. Give me all of them, dude. Confirm. Focus injection. I need 2. Okay. See, now I got 16 medical supplies and 2 focus injections. Now we're ready. Now we can do this mission. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man? How are you? How you doing, brother? I think we're ready now to do this mission. I think we're ready now to do this mission. So we can go ahead and proceed.
Goods on the planet, all here in one stall.
I don't know why. Do we have to have the pants as well? Do we need these as well? You know what? Let's do this mission later. Let's just go and see if we can bring the rover back. Let's just go, because I think we also need the boots. Like the boots has to be the ASC boots, but that's okay. We can go and retrieve the rover first. Let's retrieve the rover. Let's Let's save the game. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother. It's just a number, man. It's no big deal. But thank you. I'm an old geezer now. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Let's get that serum. Hold on. Extract the serum. That's the money. Money, money, money. Money's the serum. Thank you, Shuki, man. It's no big deal, man. It's not a big deal, guys. It's just a number. Just a reminder that I'm an old geezer. You know, hey, you're an old geezer. Just to remind you, you're an old geezer. You're getting older. Dig up your own grave. You're gonna die soon. So I don't really care much about my birthdays, man. You know, I really don't. When I was younger, I mean, I was, you know, sure. But now, man, I don't give a shit, man. The birthday's just there to remind you, you're getting older, geezer. It's a damn miracle even made it this far. Jesus, you know. Fuck me, dude. It's a fucking miracle even made it this far. And I don't know why. But thank you, guys. But I really don't make a big deal about it, you know. Come on, come on. Level 20, oh yeah. Get that serum. Get that serum. There you go. Ooh, a new level. Hell yeah. Talents. Charisma level 2. Ooh, charisma level 3 is what I need. Let's save the game. Hold on. Always save the game. I want to get to my rover. I want to retrieve the rover. Because with rover, then we can do the mission. Without the rover, we cannot go. We need to find our rover. Where the hell is our rover? Get the serum.
Aisha?
No, hold on. Skip. Hold on. I mean, I used to, like, when I was younger, when life was good, you know, I used to celebrate a lot of things. But now, you know, honestly, you know, listen, man, when your life is good, then every day's a birthday, dude. Every day's a Christmas. But, like, what are you going to celebrate? If life sucks, if there's nothing good going on, like, what are you celebrating? Just the fact that you're alive, you know? Yeah, you know, so to me the whole celebration thing is just kind of ridiculous. You know, if your life is great, well then every day it's a birthday. Every day it's a great day. Then you celebrate every day. But I mean the whole thing, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, celebrating the number, like, you know. I mean, I find the birthdays to be too overrated and kind of unnecessary, to be honest. It's like, you know, what are you reminding me of? That I'm older? I'm celebrating the fact that I'm older? Yeah, that's just great, you know. Shit, man. Remind me, when is my funeral again? Yeah, exactly. I was never big on birthdays, to be honest. I never really gave much shit about my birthday anyway. You know. Others do, but I didn't. Like, I just, like, no. Believe me, there's too much shit in my life I have to worry about. The last thing on my mind is my goddamn birthday. You know, I can give a fuck less about my birthday at my age. Too much other shit I have to worry about. You know. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Mike, bringing me the birthday wishes. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm glad you remember. Thank you. Where's our rover, dude? What happened? For real, what happened to our rover? Do we have to go this way? Let's just run. I want to get to my rover. Fuck, do we have to fight these guys? Oh, shit. My companions are useless. I gotta do everything. Wow. Oh. Oh, there's the rover, dude. There's the rover. There's the rover, dude. How do we bring it back? Did I just come all the way up here for nothing? Oh my god. Let's go back. Oh shit. We came here all the way up here for nothing. Oh god. Well, at least we got some serum. Alright, so. can't believe we came all the way up here for nothing. Let's go back. Let's go back. Good God. Maybe there's something we need to do in the city to get some items or something to retrieve this rover to fix it. Maybe we need to buy some items or something. I don't know. Maybe there's something we need to do inside a city to purchase some parts or something to fix it. Come here. Let's just run, come on. Let's go, let's go. I can't believe, man. We wasted our time. Just run, dude. Don't fight them, just run. Just run, 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 run. Run! 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 Run to the... Thank you, Shuki, for that $20 donation. I really appreciate it, man. You didn't have to, but thank you, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very nice of you to do that, man. You didn't have to, but I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Cheers. All right. Let's get back inside. Well, at least we got some serum, so it wasn't all for nothing. At least we got some serum. Well, I'm glad that I did, Shuki. I'm really glad and happy that I'm able to put some smile on your face and make you laugh, and knowing just like how hard and difficult the life is as it is. That was my whole point of doing this, man. That was my whole point of doing the YouTube and doing the Horizon Worlds, was just try to have good time, make people laugh. But some people take it the wrong way. Some people whatever, some people are just stupid, they just don't get it. They don't understand what I'm all about, and I can't help them. You know, that's on them, you know. But my intention has always been to make people laugh, dude. I think I'm probably the most misunderstood person on YouTube. But hey, I don't care. Whatever, dude. I'm not here trying to appease to anybody. Either you like me or you don't. I really don't care. But, you know, I'm glad that I was able to make you laugh. I'm glad that I was able to make Benny laugh and Renee laugh and others laugh. I'm glad that I was able to make many of you have a good time and laugh, you know. And I appreciate that I was able to do that for you, man. So, I mean, I don't know you on a personal level. Like, I don't know you personally. I don't even know how you look like. But what I do know is from here that you're a cool guy. You're a fun guy. And you like having a good time, just like me. You don't take stuff too seriously. And I'm glad that I was able to make you laugh, that I was able to make your life a little bit better, you know, through my comedy and through my, you know, my goofiness that I goof around, you know, on this channel. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, man. But I don't know, man. Lately, these days, people, they take too much of everything. They take it to the heart, you know. They, you know how internet is, man. Very judgmental. People just get everything kind of twisted and shit, you know. And they get all these ideas in their head, you know, like, oh, he must be an asshole, or he must be this, or he must be that, or you know. Just a constant judgment, you know, without even knowing anything about me, or, you know. But hey, I don't care. It's internet, you know. I don't even care in real life what people think of me, let alone the internet, you know. But you know, I'll be honest. Sure, there has been. See, a lot of people focus on drama, which tells you everything you need to know about these individuals and what their life it's like, right? If they're just seeking drama or just seeking some kind of conflict, drama, or confrontation, or seeking negativity, that shows you how corrupted. That tells you about them, how corrupted their lives are. That they're just seeking drama, seeking confrontation, right? Me, even though, you know, I have troubles in my life, you know, it's not bed of roses, but I still manage to make the best of it, you know. Even though I know I got a lot of shit I have to worry about. I have a lot of shit I have to think about. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to make it the next month, the next week, you know? I still try to make the best of it. Like, I live my day as if it's my last. Every day it's like, maybe this is my last day. I don't know. So I live every day if it's my last. And I don't take shit too fucking seriously like a lot of people do. You know. And I'm glad that I was able to make you laugh and others. And but getting to my point, a lot of people focus on negativity on my channel, but none of them focuses on like all the good times that we had, all the good times that I had in 11 years working this channel. 11 years, dude. 11 years that I have spent on this channel was 11 years of just greatness, man. A lot of cool experiences. I would be lying if I say that I didn't have a good time. Because a lot of people focus only on the drama and negativity, and they erase all the other great stuff about my channel, which there's a lot. There's a lot of great stuff on this channel, dude, that I did. So many cool people I met. So, I mean, the amount of great... Dude, I can show you my emails. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of letters, dude. People writing to me how much I helped them and everything. Thousands of letters. all just thanking me, telling me, hey, thank you, man, I appreciate you. So I've been doing this since 2015, 11 years. So 11 years, it's been just fun experience, man. Fun experience that I will cherish. That's part of my chapter in my life. I will always cherish this. I will always remember this. Same thing with the Horizon World and all the friends that I made there and made people laugh, all the people that I met there. No matter where I go in my life, whatever my journey is, the new people I meet, the new friends I make, it's all an experience that I cherish and I take. And I also know that these experiences don't last forever. I know that these experiences are not a long-term experiences. They're like a short experiences, and you need to cherish those experiences and just take them with you. And just remember, that's what life is about. It's about those experiences. It's not about, what kind of car you're driving, how big is your house, how much money you have in your bank account. It's not about that shit. That will make you feel empty and unhappy. What will make you feel happy, I think, it's knowing that, hey, man, when I look back in my life, 46 years, I can say, well, shit, man. Yes, there's been some bad times. There's been some shitty times. But most of the time, dude, it was great. It was fun. We had a great time. We enjoyed ourselves, And I think if people look at that and if they focus on that, I think it will help them go through life, in a more balanced way. Now, people ask me why I don't like my birthday. Well, I don't like my birthday for a variety of reasons. Because there's a very tragic past with my birthday. My birthday, it's associated with the Titanic, when Titanic sunk at the same time, at the same date, and also my birthday, it's associated with the earthquake, the 7.4 magnitude earthquake that struck in Balkans region. That's where I was born, in Balkans region, and 100 people died. 100 people died because of my birthday. So it's a bit of a how do I say it's almost like a cursed birthday, because the tragedy occurred on my birthday, and I'm just like, not like, it's not just now, it's like always, because once I find out, hey, your birthday fall into the earthquake that happened on the Balkan region in 1979 on April 15th, it's like I don't like, it's just not something I like. I feel like I need to celebrate. I just acknowledge it. Okay, I'm older now, put an extra number, but it's just, I always been kind of like, because I want to pay my respect to these tragedies, to respect those tragedies that had happened, like Titanic. How many souls died during the Titanic? Those cold waters, and they all drowned. And then, the earthquake that happened, 100 people died. So, and just so happened that I was born at the exact same date, exact same time, on my birth certificate. And once I found that out, I was like, well, I really don't feel like celebrating my birthday, You know what I mean? Out of respect to, I mean, imagine how weird it would be. I'm sure there's some people that were born on September 11th. Imagine how weird it would be to celebrate your birthday, and your birthday falls on September 11th. Like, you can't. And I'm sure a lot of people whose birthdays are on September 11th, they don't want to celebrate their birthdays, because like you can't. because it's just, it's something you just acknowledge. Okay, my number is up. I'm older now. Okay, I'm older. My number is up. Okay, thank you. But yeah, it's just unfortunately, it's just it's hard to celebrate a birthday when your birthday falls into a tragedy, right? Or in this case, let's say your birthday falls into September 11th, which was the most brutal terrorist attack that ever happened in the United States of America. So you don't feel like you should celebrate your birthday if it falls on that date. And that's how I feel about my birthday. It falls onto a tragedy, which is Titanic and the earthquake where 100 people died. A terrible earthquake. So, it's just a number. Birthdays is just a number, Well, it's not so much about the clown bowl. There's always going to be clowns. There's always going to be assholes in this world. There's always going to be cunts and assholes and narcissists and all kinds of, variety of flavors of assholeness and continence, that comes along with people. It's always going to be fucking there. It's just part of the human nature. That stuff, I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me about my birthdays is what I just said. It's the tragedy, and it's just like I never felt ever since I found out when I was 12 years old. I was told by my parents, "Did you know your birthday falls onto terrible earthquake? At the same time you were born, that earthquake happened." And 100 people died. Imagine hearing that. And what am I getting? I'm getting that they're trying to tell me vis-a-vis that you're cursed. It's almost like you're cursed. What are you, some kind of little demon? It's just the demon is born or some shit. I don't know. Spawned demon or whatever the fuck. I don't think I turned out to be a demon. See, thank God. I never turned out to be a demon. But honestly, every time I tell people this, they're like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?" I don't know. So,
Fortunately, this is beyond my skill level.
but I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you, Shuki. Thank you for your generous donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mike, for PlayStation Plus donations, early birthday present. Thank you, Brendan, for Assassin's Creed Shadows, an early present. All of this, it's much appreciated and recognized, and I do appreciate and I do recognize that. I really do, So thank you guys. It really means a lot to me. It really does. If I'm a demon, then I'm a very, very nice demon. Well, maybe that's the kind of demon we need these days, huh? Maybe that's the kind of demon that we need in these kinds of times, right? Like a balance. A demon, a nice demon that will keep the balance. I don't know. I just hope that people realize like what my message is. You know, just have a good time. You know, the only thing I want people to realize is it's everything that I tell everybody. It's honestly the truth. It's like I've seen people waste their times, you know, waste their energy and time on stuff that's not important. You know, they don't realize how short life is. If you see how many people die daily, how many people lose their life daily, you know. I mean, I lost a friend recently. I lost my friend Anthony Kenneth Bishop, and I would have never thought that he would go so young. You know, people don't realize like how short life is until it happens. But then when it happens, it's too late. You know, you can't put that Humpty Dumpty back together again. It's gone. And people never learn, man. It's like history repeats itself. People never learn. They forget easily. This is the thing about our DNA as humans. We quickly forget. You know, it's, I don't know what it is. It's the DNA that triggers the ego, whatever it might be. I don't know. It's just people forget like what's important. And what's important, it's life. It's not about this plastic thing. It's not about this television. It's not about the car. It's not about this house. It's not about any of that. It's about the experience, the fact that you have this privilege to experience love, to experience all of these emotions, all of these feelings, to experience all of this. That's a greatest lottery ticket privilege you could ever have. And people take it for granted, man, because of all of this, you know, my dick's bigger than yours, I'm smarter than you, I'm better looking than you, I'm this, I'm that. It's this macho bullshit ego riding on this high horse nonsense. And it never ends, dude. It just continues in a circle. People always, you know, they continue with the same stupidity, you know. Unfortunately, and that's all I try to tell people. Like one of the reasons I stopped going to a Horizon World, and Mike knows this because he was there. One of the main reasons I stopped going to Horizon World was because I was getting tired of drama. You know, I used to go to Horizon to go there to have a good time, to entertain people, to make people laugh. But then I go there to make people laugh, to make people feel good, and then people get mad at me. Oh, you're a phony, you are fake, you're this, you're that, you know. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Yes, it's a fake world, clearly. We're all having digital avatars, no shit. But that's the whole point. We are here to escape everyday bullshit, everyday stress. We're here to escape for the same reason you watch TV shows and movies and go to the comedy shows. It's to escape everyday bullshit, man. And they didn't get it. So then I end up being the bad guy. They report me. I get 2 strikes, you know. If I get another strike, I'm done. And I can't risk getting a third strike, you know. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to go back there. I told Renee and I told Mike. I said, I don't want to go there. I said, I don't want to go there no more. For what? I go there to do what? Go in there and people don't appreciate me and I'm the bad guy, you know, point fingers at me, you know. And all I'm trying to do is make people laugh, and I guess I'm the bad guy. It's like, you know, why bother? Yeah, especially at the Gatsby's, and I hate to bring up the Gatsby's, but Mike knows, he's been there. You go next to that campfire, you know, the little campfire, everybody's sitting around. You go there and it's always some toxic political views, you know, we're better than you, our party's better than you, you know, we Americans are better than you Brits, we Brits are better than you Americans, blah blah blah, all this crap, you know, politics and all this divide talk and all this toxic crap, you know. And I'm like, I go there, I'm like, what's wrong with these individuals, man? You spend $300, $600 to buy this VR headset instead of coming here with your avatar to have a goofy good time, to pretend to be some different character. You come in here to talk about the politics, to talk about the current events, to talk about the wars and this and that and political indifferences and all this other shit that divides people. And why would anyone want to spend $300, $600 to buy a VR headset and then go to Gatsby's just to talk about this drama toxic shit? Me, I got it for a Christmas as a gift, and I was like, what can I do with this platform that's on Meta? What kind of character can I create? And I was like, all right, let's go with John Wick. John Wick Returns. John Wick Chapter 4. He dies. Allegedly, he dies. We'll find out in Chapter 5 what happened. And I was like, let's make a character called John Wick Returns. This is back in early 2024. I got my headset in 2023, and then in 2024 I came out with this idea. Early 2024 January, I came out with this idea of John Wick Returns, and I was like, why don't I just create a character that talks like John Wick, moves like John Wick? And that's what I did. And I did that, and I stayed in the character because I was like, this is fun. People will laugh. They will have a good time. They'll forget about their problems. They'll forget about their troubles. And that was my goal, Mike. My goal was to have people forget about their troubles, to forget about what they're going through, by bringing this character, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Yeah. Well, it is me, John Wick Returns. It's been a long time, wasn't it, huh? Well, now I'm here. So what do you want to talk about? Yeah. Don't make me bring out the pencils. I don't want to bring out the pencils, but I will if I have to. All of that was just fun. It was just fun, creating that character, having a goofy time, entertaining people. But then, in a course of time, few months later, everybody got their pennies in a twist. Everybody got their pennyhoses in a twist, and it's just like, it's sad. You know what it is, Mike? It's just sad. It's just sad to see. It's sad. It really is sad to see how people just let stupidity take over. Idiocracy and stupidity take over, man. I don't know I don't know where the Kool-Aid comes from. The Kool-Aid of stupidity and idiocracy that they're drinking. I don't know who's handing out these Kool-Aids, but they're drinking it, and it's just like it. You see it. It shows. Just the stupidity, idiocracy just kind of breathes right into it, man. It breathes like a fire, because the fire needs the oxygen, right? Fire needs the oxygen to breathe. Yeah, it needs the oxygen to breathe, and this oxygen is the oxygen of toxic shit that they're breathing in like a fire and spreading like a fire, like an unstoppable fire, just keeps spreading. And I was like, man, I can't handle this, because the whole purpose of me being there was to make people laugh, to make people feel entertained. And I think I accomplished that. To a certain degree. But then, people started questioning, oh, who really are you? Why can't you just be yourself? I said, well, that's the whole point, dummy. I don't come here to be myself. I come here to be an entertainer. If you want to know who I really am, go click on my Instagram, and under the Instagram, you'll see a YouTube link, and you click on that YouTube link, and it will take you to my channel, and then you can come here and you can see who I really am. Here, you can see who the guy is. If you really want to know, if you're so bothered by it and it bothers you, I'd like to know who this character is, who this actor is behind this character. And I told everybody, I say, if you want to know, I'm not hiding it. Just click on my Instagram, click on my YouTube page, and that's it. And when you go to my Instagram, you see my face, you see how I look like, you know. So it's all there, you know. Right, Mike? When you click on my Instagram, it's all there. I'm not hiding. Nothing's being hidden. That was the funny part to me, Mike. And you were there. You know, when we used to be the blue guy. I can hear you laugh when we were there, because, like, dude, if you really want to know who I am, it's like, dude, just click on the Instagram. It's right there. It's right there, dude. You just click on it, and there's the link is right there. Not only do you see who I am, everything, but you also see the link to my YouTube channel posted. Click here, click here, click here. All of my posts are like, click on the YouTube channel. And when you click on my YouTube channel, oh my God, 8.6 thousand videos of me, yours truly. Like, it just... So that's why I was like, but when I go there, I don't break the character. And I told this to a lot of people. You know, everybody's asking me, why don't you break the character? And there was these chicks, oh my God. They're all beautiful. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, but my God. Dumber than a second coat of paint. I hate to say it. Yeah, they're all beautiful, they're all nice, but a dumber than a second coat of paint. Dumber than a second coat of paint. Like, hey Johnny, why don't you be yourself? Why are you just in the character? And I'm like, well, that's the whole idea, sweetheart. For me to stay in a character in this world. Yeah, but I don't like it. I want to know who you really are. Alright, well, if you want to know who I really am, why don't you click on my profile and then go to my Instagram, and there you will find out who I am. Oh, I did, but I don't think that's you. That's someone else. Well, then, if you don't believe that's me, then there's nothing I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I swear to God. God is my witness. God is my witness. I'm not making this up. And again, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but man, they're all beautiful. They're all nice to me, but dumber than a second coat of paint. Like, you don't believe that's me? Well, then I can't help you. Anyway, but look, I had fun. Listen, Renee knows. She knows how much fun I had there. You know, she knows. And there's other... Look, I have a lot of friends there, okay? I had a great experience. I don't want people to think that, ooh, I had nothing but a bad... No. Recently, it turned into a shit show. But last year, beginning of the last year, 2024, man, I had a great time. I had an amazing time. If I didn't have a great time, why do you think I would go there, put on a headset? Why would you think I would do that? If I didn't have a good time, I would waste my time investing into something that I'm not enjoying, you know. But I had a great time. You know, I don't want people to think that I didn't, because I did. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Because I don't want people to take this the wrong way. Oh, is he complaining about Gatsby? Is he complaining about Horizon? Oh, he's just a crybaby. Crybaby. No, I'm not. I'm just stating the obvious facts. But I did have a great time. But like everything else, it comes to an end, you know. Everything has a beginning, the middle, and an end. You know, first act, second act, and the third act, which is the end. Everything has a beginning, and the middle, and the end, you know. Nothing stays forever. But it doesn't mean that I don't cherish the memories that I had there in a Horizon World. It doesn't mean that I don't cherish it. Of course I cherish all the wonderful people that I met there, all the great times that I had there. Sure, I cherish everything in my life. I cherish. Not just the Horizon, everything. YouTube and my real life and real life friends and all the experiences that I had, whether it be in Europe or here in North America, throughout my 46 years, I cherish every single one of those experiences. And that's what it's all about at the end, you know. All right, guys. Well, it's been already 3 hours. I can't believe it. And it's 6:24 a.m. It's time for me to eat something. I need to make a breakfast. If I'm not going to eat my breakfast on my birthday, well then I don't know. When am I going to eat my breakfast? And what is my breakfast? My breakfast is oatmeal. The greatest birthday breakfast you could ever have. Oatmeal. I got all the fibers, all the ingredients needed for you to stay healthy. Nothing like a good oatmeal in the morning. That's right. All right, guys. So I'll be back later. I thought about maybe checking out the South to Midnight. You know, see how it is. You know, I might check it out. We'll see. Shuki, Mike, thank you all very much for your kind generosity, especially you, Mr. Mike. Thank you for the PlayStation Plus. Because of you, I'm able to play Technomancer and many other games. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your generosity. I appreciate your kindness. I appreciate your love. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Shuki. Your donations, your love, your kindness, you being here every day. I appreciate all of you guys. You know, those who are truly part of my friend circle. That's what I mean. Those of you who are Brendan as well. I appreciate him. Donating and purchasing that game for me. You know, that's it. I don't dwell too much into a past. I don't care about the past. What's done is done. I just like to move on, and that's it. You know, none of us is perfect. We're all guilty of something. You know, no one is a saint. No one is a saint. You know, but you know, I don't like to dwell into past. What's done is done. You know, move on. Because the past, it's not going to really do us any favors, digging the past and then pointing fingers and this and that. So I just like to move on, you know, for us to move on and just like do what we do best, have fun, comedy, entertainment. That's really my goal. Like I said, you know, I don't have the crystal ball, and I really can't tell you the way all of this is going to be this year, because depending, you know, when I start working a new job, and you know how much of time do I have to spend working this job 5 days, 6 days a week, am I going to have time to do this, you know? Am I going to have time to go to Horizon, right? So the things will be different, because, clearly I need a job. I can't do this just like this and make little peanut money. I need a good income to survive. So but we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't like to think about the future because I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. And that's why I take it one day at a time. One day at a time. That's how I live my life. One day at a time. Exactly, Mike. You're totally exhausted by the end of the week. Or if you're working 6 days a week, when you come back Sunday, you just want that Sunday off just for yourself. You don't want to be bothered by nobody. Because you're drained out. Your energy's drained. So, yeah, that too, of course. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Love you all. Appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Even though I don't celebrate it, but I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll be back later on. I'll be back. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll play some South to Midnight. Take care, Mike. You too. Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone. And before I go, guys, check this game out. It's called the Technomancer. Please. It's on PlayStation Plus. It's called the Technomancer. It's right over there. Give it a try. It's on PlayStation Plus. There's another game called Mars War Logs. It's also included. Mars War Logs. It's a prequel to Technomancer. Both Mars War Logs and Technomancer are included on the PlayStation Plus, so you have both of these games to play and to enjoy. If you love Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars The Knights of the Old Republic, you will love Technomancer, and you will also love Mars War Logs, which is a prequel to the Technomancer. So there you have it. Thank you, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.